All right, so today we're going deep on a topic that I think a lot of people just don't see,
Mm-hmm.
urban America,
Yeah.
and the struggles that people face every day in these environments. And the source material we're looking at is this YouTube video,
Right.
and it's called The Hidden Crisis in Urban America
Okay.
from a channel called Quit Drinking with Bible.
Interesting.
And this creator speaks from direct experience,
Oh, wow.
having lived and breathed in these communities.
Oh, okay.
And they've got some powerful things to say
Right.
about what's really going on.
Yeah. What are some of the things that jumped out at you when you were looking at this?
Well, one thing that really struck me was this idea of
Yeah.
what the creator calls systematic situations,
Okay.
and how certain institutions,
Mm-hmm.
things like prisons,
Mm-hmm.
the alcohol industry,
Mm-hmm.
even the court system,
Interesting.
they actually kind of benefit from the struggles that urban communities face.
That's a bold statement.
It is?
When you say benefit, though,
Yeah.
how do they benefit?
Well, the creator is suggesting that these systems are all connected,
Right.
and they actually perpetuate the very problems that they're supposed to be addressing.
So you're saying it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy almost.
Exactly.
They're designed to keep people trapped in the system.
Yeah, could you break that down a little bit more? Like how does these systems interact
Mm-hmm.
to create this kind of vicious cycle?
Yeah. I think it's helpful to think of it almost like a web, you know,
Okay.
interconnected and people get caught in it.
Right.
So let's just take an example. Young person
Okay.
grows up in a neighborhood with limited job opportunities.
Right.
That can lead to involvement in crime,
Mm-hmm.
which then leads to involvement with the justice system.
Okay.
And the creator argues that the focus is more on punishment
Yeah.
than rehabilitation.
Right.
So then you're left with a criminal record, even fewer job prospects.
Makes sense.
Maybe turning to substances to cope, which feeds into what the creator calls this alcohol system.
It's like a domino effect.
Exactly.
One thing leads to the next.
Yeah. And it's tough, you know, if you're just trying to
Yeah.
make a life for yourself under those
I
conditions.
mean, how do you even begin to break free from that?
That's the big question.
You know, what's even more disturbing is this idea that
Yeah.
these burdens are often passed down through generations.
Absolutely.
You know, the creator talks about children being like sponges for information.
Yeah.
They absorb the negativity,
Mm.
the hardship that's all around them.
And it becomes normal.
Right.
Their reality.
And there's this one quote
Yeah.
that really stuck with me.
What is it?
It says, a lot of kids in the environment we live can say that it was even strategically made the way it was.
Wow. Strategically made.
Right.
That's
I
powerful.
was like, this environment isn't just some random accident.
Right.
It's almost like it was designed,
Intentional.
yeah, to keep people trapped.
And, you know, when you think about it, like,
Hmm.
historically,
Yeah.
there are policies that have contributed to this.
Oh, totally.
Like redlining,
Right.
you know, back in the mid-20th century, systematically denying loans and services to certain neighborhoods.
Often racially determined.
Exactly.
And we're still seeing the consequences of that today.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like concentrated poverty,
yeah.
limited access to resources,
Underfunded schools.
and it just creates this cycle that's
Yeah.
so hard to escape.
Yeah. And this is where the creator's point about empathy really comes in,
Right.
or the lack thereof.
Yeah, they talk about how there's this lack of support for kids
Mm-hmm.
as they become adults.
Yeah.
Like they're just
Thrown to the wolves almost.
cast into a system
Yeah.
that's designed to just repeat the whole cycle.
Right. And I think what's missing is this recognition of the trauma these kids have been through.
Right.
I mean, imagine
Yeah.
witnessing violence, experiencing poverty firsthand,
Mhm.
seeing family members struggle with addiction.
That's heavy stuff.
It's incredibly heavy.
Yeah.
And instead of getting support,
Right.
they're met with judgment,
Yeah.
punishment.
It's like they're being set up to fail.
In a way,
So is there any hope?
well, the creator seems to think so.
Okay.
They make this really passionate plea for communities
Yeah.
to step up and guide their youth,
Right.
to offer love and understanding.
So it's about breaking the cycle from within.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Changing the way we view
Okay.
and support young people in these environments.
What would that look like, though, in practice?
Well, I think it starts with recognizing the root causes of these struggles
Okay.
and then providing the resources and opportunities for these
Uh-huh.
kids to thrive.
So things like mentorship programs,
Yeah.
investing in education,
Absolutely.
job training,
Yeah.
and even advocating for policies that address those systemic inequalities we were talking about.
Right. It's a multi-pronged approach.
So we've covered a lot of ground here today,
We have.
and it's pretty heavy stuff.
It is.
But I think the big takeaways are
Yeah.
these systems are all interconnected.
Hmm.
Trauma is cyclical.
And we desperately need empathy and community-driven solutions.
Right.
And, to leave you with one final thought,
Great.
the creator says, it's up to communities to tell their kids how to live. And until we all start loving each other, we just going to keep hurting each other.
That's powerful.
It is. And it makes you think,
Yeah.
how are we contributing to these systems?
Right.
And what can we do to create a more just and supportive environment?
To break the cycle.
Or good.
It's a challenge for all of us.
Absolutely.
Something to really think about.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have for today. But thank you for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
And we'll see you next time.
See you then.